In this video, I'm going to show you how to invest in both SpaceX and Starlink. Now you might be asking how? Those companies are not publicly traded. And the answer is you would not invest into them directly, but indirectly, meaning you would invest in the companies, funds, and ETFs that invest directly into them. Now you might be asking, who are they? So in this video, I'm going to take a look at a few companies which hold significant SpaceX stakes or companies partnering with SpaceX. So beginning with what you see here, this company XOVR. Let's talk about them real quick. They provide exactly what I'm talking about. This is crossover investing. It bridges the gap between public, which we don't have access to because they're not public, these two at least, and private equity markets. More on them. This is an exchange traded fund. It's an ETF. A lot of you guys have traded ETFs. We trade them every day that aim to provide investors with exposure to both publicly traded and privately held companies. So this is the approach that you have to take when you're dealing with a company of a very, very large scale or potentially with that type of volume, but they're not public yet. A key feature of XOVR is the ability to invest in private companies, which are typically harder for individual investors like you and I to access. So they, provide an opportunity for us to get involved in something like SpaceX and Starlink and many other things. Okay. So technically, there's really not too much to go. This will be easy. You guys understand a lot of times I come on and I do these technical breakdowns, but we'll keep this very simple and we will talk about the technical that will be used to make the projection here. It's going to be a short-term projection, even though this one right here, XOVR, is something that you would look at long-term. So just in our normal fashion, we just say, okay, yes, this is trending. This is a trend. This is pretty cool. Come here, test, find support there, go, new high, little bit of static, come down, find support at the previous structure, right? Okay, cool. But I'm not worried about that right now. Okay. I just wanted to point out the trend, but we want to talk about what we're going to use, the technical that we're going to use here, the harmonic technical we're going to use here. Is going to be our 2618 technique. Now, I'm pretty excited because I haven't had a chance to use this in a while because I've been focusing so much on the advanced patterns. But the 2618 is just as powerful as those. And I don't know if you've recall or if you've seen the 2618 training, but I will leave a link to it in this video. But basically, in the 2618 technique, okay, the 2 stands for double top or double bottom. Okay, so the 2 standing for double top or double bottom, and that's why you saw me just go ahead and write that off. Okay, and a double top or double bottom is where, well, by definition, for it to be valid, because this one is very, very valid. Okay, it's when the lowest low, right, meets the lowest close, but does not close beyond it. So the lowest low, right here, the wick that you see, does meet the lowest close over here, but does not close beyond it. Otherwise, you basically would have continued this trend down here. So support there, of course, and then you fire up. Okay, so that's the 2 in the 2618 technique. The 618 stands for a 618 retracement, okay, of the double top or double bottom. So starting right here, understand that there was some crazy price action. Maybe a news catalyst caused this big crazy thing, but we can ignore that for the sake of this because everything else turns out perfect. But the 618 part of it stands for a 618 retracement of the right shoulder to the high, swing low to swing high right here. So basically, what you're doing is a double bottom followed by break and close beyond previous structure. Okay. Okay. So a double bottom followed by break and close by previous structure followed by a 618 retracement. Okay. And we happen to get that on the dot. See the 618 here? I'm going to take the rest of it off because we don't need the rest of it. 786s and all this other stuff we don't need. We just need 618. All right, that's all we need. 618 must I already have one there. Let me take one off. And sometimes I do leave 786 on there because you can get some push. But this one looks like it's going to react perfectly. So not only do we have all the amazing things in this opportunity, we have a perfect trade setup. I got to go back and remind you guys that we do not provide trade signals or give trading advice. This video is made for education and entertainment purposes only. As always, consult a financial advisor of your choice before putting your capital at risk in these very volatile markets. And that's why I had the disclaimer at the beginning of the video. But let's talk about targets on this, because this thing is already activated and ready to go. Remember, this is about long term and big boy play right here. You be coming in and playing with the big dogs over here. And I'm gonna later in this video I'll talk about some of the other things, not companies, but some of the other things that this company gets involved in. So in the 2618 technique, your target one, your TP1 will be retesting the high in which price came from. That'll be your TP1. Your take profit 1 is a retest. Your take profit 2 is a 127 extension of the low. I'm not going to worry about this trash wick. The low to the high. We're going to break this up in two. A 127 extension of the low to the high. 127 extension would be target 2. And then what you would do is give yourself another target. I'm going to move him out the way because we got to go a little bit higher, a TP3. And these would be cases in which you're basically taking your closing small parts, selling off some of your shares. That'd be TP2 at the 127. And then you have another one at the 1618, which is the full maximum extension of a move. It's not the full, it's as far as you kind of like really want to be out projecting. That would make harmonic sense. This would be TP3 up here. Oops, I screwed that up. TP3. What's happening? Okay, cool. And the other thing that you would do is you would simply make an A to B is equal to CD pattern. So you take your line tool and you go A to B and you put it on C. And then this is going to help you out with just basically that TP2, that 127. So at minimum, you should be looking at this thing to push up to $21. I mean, these guys, when you talk about Starlink, what just happened with Starlink, and I mean, SpaceX just went and docked on the space station to save a crew of astronauts who have been stranded up there for 9 or 10 months. I mean, come on. So that's that one. That's XOVR. Let's see who is next. These guys right here, ARK Venture Fund, or ticker symbol ARKVX. Okay, let's just talk about them real quick. An investment objective is long-term capital growth. Okay, it invests in companies involved in disruptive innovation, a concept central to ARK's investment philosophy. Let's talk about disruptive innovation. What is that? Disruptive innovation refers to technology-enabled new products or services that have potential to fundamentally change how the world works. ARK focuses on areas like neural networks, reusable rockets. I understand there's some people out there that a lot of people don't like right now, but they are highly involved in neural networks and reusable rockets and adaptive robotics, precision therapies. This is the next generation cloud computing and digital wallets. This is the future. So I understand people like holding on to the past, but the past is going to be gone. We are moving into a new world based on computing and technology. I mean, we've been there for a while, but we're going into the next phase of it. So this is a company and their fund that allows you right now to invest in them as they grow while they invest in these technologies. Technically, right now, there's not much to say except, of course, it's on an upward trend. It's very affordable at $30. for the sake of where we are, it has found a double bottom technically, because there's not a whole lot of stuff I need to do here. I don't need any advanced patterns. I don't need to do like that 2618 technique. I don't need to talk about trend. Of course, it's a bullish trend, absolutely non-stop bullish trend. But the only thing that's in front of us technically is it basically finding support where it pretty much is. I was able to come in and kind of force an advanced bat pattern out of here. And that's why you see this push right here, this little small guy. I was able to come in a little bit closer and force an advanced pattern. But right now I'm just going to focus on the double bottom. Basically just finding support in that area and looking like it's not going to be able to violate it, and then you should be off to the races. Just small little technical to go retest where it was at $31, and at that point, yeah. So you see, I did run a retracement on it too. I did run a retracement from this low here, from this structure here, from this low here to the highs up here. Okay. So you come down and you wig, you get very close to a 382 retracement or 38% retracement down, which is fine. Now the problem is I don't want to have to get too excited, even though this is something to be excited about. But a 382 retracement absolutely equals a 1618 extension. So if we did do technicals, or if we did use, kind of A to B is equal to CD principles, because that's how the market moves, this would look like this right here. Okay, with targets up here at $35 in a few weeks. Okay, a few weeks, maybe a couple of months. So that's what the technical looks like on that. So ARK Venture Fund. Okay, and then last but not least, Barron Focus Growth Fund, BFGFX, with one of the largest SpaceX holdings. So we hit him right on the money. Remember, this is about, well, I would like to invest in SpaceX and Starlink. Well, watch this. The Barron Focus Growth Fund allocates approximately 15% of its portfolio to SpaceX, making it one of the fund's largest holdings. Beautiful. It's like we're hacking ourselves. We're finding stuff that maybe investors like you and I aren't supposed to find, but as long as we work, we'll find them. What I will say, okay, technically, let's see how we're going to approach this one. Okay, so trend is still good. Okay, this recovery or correction, that's okay. That should be expected. That's about a 618 correction. Now let's do like this though. A 618 correction equals a 1414 extension. We can do that if we want. Okay. A 618 retracement is a 1414 extension. So we'd be looking potentially way up here for targets, right? For now, we'd be looking somewhere in that $66 range for targets. As you see him pushing up, okay, little pullback here. But what I did do on this one was if you notice, I didn't use candlesticks because this company, I don't know why, you just can't, I don't know if it's too new, but there's just not a lot of candlestick data present. So if I switch over to candlesticks, show you what we were dealing with, can't really see anything. So I had to use something else. I used the baseline chart to get us here. Now, the baseline chart is good because it shows you when you are above or in the positive or when you're in the negative by establishing a baseline. So you can see all this green. Anytime you're up here, you're in the positive, you're in the green. So it comes down and touches the baseline. But also the other good thing about that is when it did that, it was oversold and you got a reaction off of it. Okay. Plus there's probably going to be a lot of good news in 2025 going forward. So technically, that's pretty much all we can do is say, okay, well, we are in the green on it. And the other thing is, yes, again, just like the ARK Fund, we did from this low here to this high here, we did get our 382 retracement, almost like very, very close, very, very close, which again, we could make another projection. So we already have the one we made off the 618 retracement with the 1414 extension. We could do the same thing off this 382 retracement and a 1618. They would be confluent with each other. I'll show you. they're going to line up. That 1414 is going to line up with 1618 of this part here. They're going to be confluent with each other. It should be. Oops. Let's see how they end up. They were very close to it. Okay, so no, so that 16, no, that can't be. That can't be. That's got to be way up there. Let's see. Let me just clone that. That doesn't look right. Okay, well it is. Okay, so here's the minimum completion of where we are, right? So the minimum is 63 based off this move, and then based off the whole larger move, we'd be talking about something like this up here. So still a very nice range kill zone to be in before we start to see this experience any resistance. Okay, at the higher levels, once we break up out of this closing beyond these $55 ranges, and it's very likely to happen. There's no reason why it shouldn't or why it can't. So we wanted to go ahead and get rid of, like I said, some of that doom and gloom. I want to do one more thing. I want to come back to ARK real fast, and I just want to remind you about some of the stuff that's in their portfolio. When we talk about that disruptive stuff, okay? When we talk about that disruptive stuff, this is what we're talking about. Examples in ARK's portfolio. EVs. I know a lot of people hate Tesla right now, but it is disruptive, right? Disrupting the traditional automotive industry. Genomic sequencing, transforming healthcare through personalized medicine, robotics and automation, changing manufacturing and logistics, blockchain technology, potentially disrupting financial services, artificial intelligence transforming many, if not all, industries, space exploration changing the way we interact with the world around us. So, hit the like button, please. Help the algorithm send this out. I think that people could use this information. I'm not sure a lot of people knew about it. It was something I didn't even know about. Share the video if you know someone that might be interested in something like this, and subscribe to the Harmonic Trading Club if you're not a subscriber already. And if you are a subscriber or not a subscriber, be sure to check the Academy playlist where we have, I think there's probably 21 or 22 classes right now explaining technical analysis and structure analysis from end to end, including advanced pattern recognition or harmonic patterns for all the major patterns that can be found and used as the market moves harmonically and continues to create them over and over and over again. Okay, you guys take care of yourself. Be safe in the markets, and we'll see you on the next video.